Hey friends, I'm Demetria. I love talking to solopreneurs and brands and small businesses about how to set up your website for success online so you can do what you're passionate about doing online with your business. So go ahead and grab your notepads because today we're going to talk about how to get started with your brand online. How do you get started? What do you need for your website? Tip number one, you need a domain name. So before you get started with your website, you have to have a domain name, and this is going to be the address by which you will park your website. So you have to have a domain name. Now you can get that from a lot of different places like Namecheap or GoDaddy, but find a place that sells domain names and purchase your domain name. Now, a lot of hosting, which we'll talk about in a moment, will also provide that in a package deal. So you might be able to just skip straight over to looking for your hosting and getting your domain name all in one nice space together. But the first thing you need is a domain name so that your website has a place to be parked. Tips for your domain name: you want to keep the name short and simple and sweet. So you don't want it to be super long. I typically recommend no more than 3 words within your domain name. And if you can help it, maybe not a lot of numbers and acronyms and things like that. Just something that's easy to remember. Remember that your audience, your listener, your viewer, your reader, whoever's going to be watching or consuming your content via video or audio needs to be able to hear the domain name spoken and be able to type it out when they get home, because they're going to remember it maybe, or maybe they won't remember because it's just too long. So try to keep it short and simple. Most of my websites are only 2 to 3 words. For example, my name, demetriazinga.com, or for example, I have a homeschool website, Christian Homeschool Moms. That's 3 words, and that's .com. Then I also have mompreneurs in heels. That's 3 words as well, but easy to remember. So also spelling can be a little bit iffy. So if you feel like there may be some problems with spelling, maybe think about how you want to have your domain name reflect what it is you're trying to convey. So if the spelling is a little tricky, maybe you might want to pick something else, but don't let that be your defining factor. Do make sure that your domain name is indicative and reflective of your brand and who you are. So if you're talking about pet sitting, you're a pet sitter and you want something that reflects that, make sure you stay on topic when you pick your domain name, that it completely reflects what pet sitting is, maybe the name of your company or something that is about pet sitting, right? So it needs to obviously make sense. So that's my first tip for you, is just make it short, simple, and sweet. Secondly, you need hosting. There are a lot of hosting companies out there, and I won't pull your leg here. There are so many that are fighting and vying for your money, for your attention, for your business. So you're going to have to just pick the one that's going to be suitable for your scalability and how you need to function over the upcoming years. And if you're just starting your business right now, you're brand new, just starting off, maybe you don't need to worry about scaling just yet. So you may want to start with a smaller hosting account that just accommodates your one website. But with time, you might want to upgrade to a hosting provider or a hosting account with your provider that can grow with you and maybe provides room for many, many websites. So you're paying that one fee every year, but you're able to host multiple websites. And so that's where I am with my business right now. But when I first got started, I only needed one website, so I didn't need to pay for additional space. Think about what your needs are. Some popular choices are, and I'm going to name them, whether I agree with their company services and whether I've had a good or bad experience or not. I will name a few of these, and then I will tell you about some of my favorites. But a few of the popular ones are HostGator, Bluehost, GoDaddy, SiteGround. Okay, so of those, the ones that I prefer, and I didn't name one of them yet, so I'll tell you about that in a moment, but I prefer SiteGround because of their service, because of their just ability to answer the questions when you have a need. If something is wrong, they are there, and they helped to solve a lot of problems I had with one other hosting company that I named previously. And they brought me over to their services back in 2015, I believe. And they saved my life. They saved my website, saved my business. So I am forever grateful to SiteGround. Since then, I have moved on. There are some other hosting companies that are fabulous, so you may want to look at those. And one of those is one that I don't think gets a lot of attention and should. And it's called Big Scoots. And I've been using that for a while. So I really appreciate all of these different hosting companies. But again, I recommend SiteGrounds and Big Scoots. So if you're ready to get started, I do have an affiliate link down below. Just give that a plug and let you know that you can get started using my affiliate link as well with SiteGround. And they have a wonderful service that can help you with your needs. Your next step is you need to choose the right platform that's good for you. Okay, if you are a beginner, it's okay to use Squarespace and Wix and all of the things that help you to get a website pulled together quickly. And you don't have to hire someone to design something boutique and highly customized. If you're just getting started and you just need to have a web presence just to get started, then use something that's user-friendly that you can put together yourself. I would recommend Squarespace. Wix is great as well for many people. I have issues with Wix personally just because I have worked with a client before and tried to move her information from Wix off of Wix onto another platform and found it to be a hassle and a headache at that time. So I'm not sure if Wix has upgraded and improved since 2020, but that was the experience I had then. And so I don't know if they're allowing exports of their content onto other platforms easily. So that's the only reason I hesitate on Wix, but it's a great platform for developing and creating your website. And I highly recommend for beginners, Squarespace. And the one that I love the most is WordPress, and not necessarily the WordPress.com, because that's very limiting and very basic. I'm talking about the WordPress platform that is open source, available for all to download and use on your hosting server, and you can get started with it. I think it is great. WordPress has been my go-to for almost 2 decades, and it's improved so much. And so now with Gutenberg and with all of the drag and drop editors that are available, there's so much you can do now on WordPress with design that was not available to us 10 years ago. So I love WordPress for so many reasons. And so I do recommend WordPress, and it's what I design on predominantly. And if you want to go that route, you're going to have so many options available to you in terms of plugins. It's versatile. There's so much you can do with WordPress, so I highly recommend it. Okay, so let's do a quick recap and make sure that we've got everything we need. So domain name, check. Hosting, check. And platform, check. I hope we've got it all, right? So once you have those 3, that trifecta, what you need to get your website and your online business stabilized so that you can start growing, you just get started. You just get somebody on board to help you, to take you through the steps that you need. But this video hopefully helps you to know what to do so you can get moving in the direction of getting your brand established. And if you have any additional questions, I'm here for you. I'm your gal. I'm your web designer, podcast coach, and I love to help solopreneurs. So reach out to me at demetriazinga.com. Hit the bell. Be sure to subscribe to this channel, and I would love to hear from you. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.